What's going on, everybody? This is Dave from This Is Pop Punk Promotions. I'm here with Trash Mammals from Springfield, Massachusetts. How's it going, boys?
Not
Great.
bad. How you?
Doing great. Really appreciate you guys coming on and chatting up a little bit. Let's dive right into it. So, when it had you guys form?
That's an interesting question. When did we form as a band?
Yes.
Technically in the late 90s. But this is it's a long story, but the two guys who aren't on here, the drummer and the guitarist are old friends from high school, and when they were in high school, I think they were like 14 years old. They started a band, and they wrote a few songs. And one of the songs that they wrote back then is actually on our new album. It's the first song, Bandwagon. And then, they fizzled out and didn't do anything for a while. And then I met them in like 2014, and we started very casually jamming. It was really like Friday nights we'd get together, drink some beers, play some covers. We're all really into like Descendants and Bad Religion and Black Flag and stuff like that. So we play those covers, not take it too seriously. And over time we got some songs together. I think we played our first ever show in 2018. And then we recorded our first demo in 2019, and the first actual album is Band from Bondi's Island, which we released just this past February. So obviously takes us a long time to do things, but apparently we've been a band for like 28 years or something.
That's so dope and like super impressive. You guys should be really stoked with yourselves.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So, speaking of the new album, Band from Bonnie's Island, how's the response been to it?
I would say so far pretty good. I mean, we have limited channels of exposure, so that's something that we're still working on is getting it out there. So talking to you is awesome because hopefully that can expose it a little bit more. But so far, people have seemed to really like it. Everybody, we sold a decent amount of records, still sitting on a decent amount, and they are for sale on our Bandcamp. I should have the URL figured out, but if you just go on Bandcamp and search for Trash Mammals, I'm sure you can find it.
Yeah,
It's
everybody
awesome.
personally that I've shown, it's really more like I know like a fair amount of people around where we live who either are into this type of stuff or like I know a lot of kind of older people, like kind of Gen Xers that like were used to kind of be into punk who like I tell them about what we're doing and it seems like they genuinely dig it. So yeah, I mean it's something that I mean I know I'm not the best with, but yeah, we're trying to put it out there because um, I mean, for me, it's like I just came into the band. I think it's like 2 years ago because um, I saw the band, and I think probably one of the first things that really impressed me personally, even though like I think everybody in the band's like great players. Um, I mean, it's seeing honestly seeing I was seeing Greg playing bass at a show, and I was like, I want to be in a band with that guy. Like that was my reaction, and yeah, so I mean, everybody that we've shown that I personally know that I've shown to, it seems like they like it if they're into this type of thing. So I don't know. That's means whatever it means. I don't know.
That's really dope. Who did you guys record it with, and how's the process?
So we recorded this record with Angelo Quaglia at Track House. So that's his recording studio in his basement in Chicopee, Massachusetts. It's TRAQ House. And he's awesome. I'm in another band called the Prozacs, and he has recorded like a lot of our stuff, especially in the last 10 years. So he's really good. The process was interesting because we've known these songs forever. I mean, we've been sitting on this set of 12 songs for probably a good like 4 or 5 years. So obviously, I've been in other studio scenarios where it's like you're learning stuff on the spot. It takes a little longer, but these are pretty ingrained in us. So we booked 2 full days, I think like 12, 14-hour days, and we got the majority of instrumentals down then. all the drums, all the bass, and like most of the guitars. I think there was a few guitar takes we had to do after that. And then after that point, we kind of did it very spread out because I think especially with the vocals, I think a lot, and Zach can definitely speak to this, or Lon, I should say, could speak to this. But
Lon.
Lon, yeah, sorry. But anyway, I'll say for the vocals, I think a lot of the idea was like we really wanted to see what it all sounded like and be methodical about how we recorded it. So we did that kind of spread out. I mean, it was all over the period of probably about, I don't know, 8 months or something like that.
Yeah, it was Angela's really cool, and it was yeah, it was a lot different for me because yeah, yeah, because the rest of the guys have been sitting on the songs for a while, and when I came in, it was like this is different than how I've experienced being a musician. I feel like I've done, a fair amount of different kind of music, and it was yeah, it was definitely for me. It was fairly challenging to kind of come in and learn the songs pretty quickly, and also like Mark, who's the guitar player, was singing all the songs. So it's like I kind of came in and I was, kind of like I can't even sing like how he was if I wanted to. So it was kind of like I was kind of doing my version of the songs, like in a way, and doing it relatively quickly. But I think it worked out really good. Like it was like when I was recording with Angelo, it was he kind of knew like what we were going for and everything. He, obviously worked with other punk bands and other bands. So that made it. I felt good about that, like being able to bounce ideas off of Angelo and while we were recording it, and just I just wanted it to I wanted it to I guess not I guess I don't know, keep it a little bit raw and punk or something by not I didn't want it, I wanted to know the songs, but I didn't want it to feel like too rehearsed or something, if that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, and it's also worth noting, Angelo definitely acted as a producer too. Um, he is a really good recording engineer, but he's also got a lot of good ideas. And for me, I know a lot of times I'll like have two different ways of doing a bass riff, and I'll be like, Angelo, tell me which one you like better. And like, I trust your ear better than I
Yeah,
trust
yeah,
mine.
for sure.
So he's really good at that kind of stuff. And if anybody is within 2 hours of Chicopee, Massachusetts, you should definitely record with him. He's awesome, super chill
Great.
guy, and not that expensive either, honestly.
Yeah.
Important stuff.
Yep.
But it must have been really cool to like work with a producer that gave you ideas and was able to like push you to the next level in a positive way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And he's just somebody you can trust. I mean, he's been doing this for years. He used to be based in New York City. I'd be lying if I remembered the big names that he's recorded, but he's recorded some like wildly famous musicians in the past. And he's just somebody you can kind of trust is going to have a better ear than you, if you're willing to give up your ego on that a little bit.
It's really dope. So what would you say your favorite and your least favorite thing is about the writing and recording process?
Um, For me, my favorite part is being done and having something that you're like, we made this. Um, I like recording bass parts. I I gotta say, we play really fast music, and when you're playing live, and I put a lot of distortion on my bass, like sometimes you don't notice how sloppy you are. I would say my least favorite part is listening to. There's like one song in particular, and it on paper it would seem to have like the easiest bass part, but it's so fast that it's actually like really hard to get it right. It's uh Tune It Out is the name of the song. And listening to myself back after playing it through and thinking I did okay, being like, oh my God, I'm that sloppy, and having to redo it a bunch of times is definitely my least favorite part.
Yeah, I I'm used to more recording than I am even playing in bands, so it was I don't know. I can't think of parts that I don't like in recording because I think that's just I like writing, and I like recording even though yeah, like there's parts of it that for sure feel like work. I mean, I can only I honestly think of like my favorite part is like I think when we first like we all, did our tracks. Well, we all played like in separate rooms, and listening to the playback of that was really cool. And then I think, when we were finally finished, like, I mean, it was interesting because I think, yeah, I can't, it's like, obviously stuff is kind of blurred now. It's like, it was like, kind of, I don't remember, it was 2022, 2023 when we first started. I don't know, whenever we first started recording it and we finished, it was like, I mean, technically it's like I didn't even write these songs, but when I listened to like it wasn't the final playback, but when I was listening to that, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I got pretty emotional and it's not even my songs. Like I kind of shed a tear listening to that because I don't know, it was like everything that was happening obviously with the pandemic and then being able to do that, and it was all really quick for me. And it's like, I mean, like I said, it's weird for me because I'm a songwriter, but I didn't write any of these songs, but I'm like really proud of that. I mean, nothing when we were in the studio, there was a lot of we were really particular about how we wanted everything to go, and that can be, I guess, kind of frustrating, but I don't mind that because I'm pretty meticulous about the way I want stuff to sound. So I don't know. I don't really have any negatives, to be honest. I don't know. I enjoy most aspects of it. I don't know.
That's always good, not having anything that you don't like.
It's work, but it's not like, yeah, I don't like, I think it's really more like usually what kind of keeps me going is hearing, the progress, even hearing just the playback of stuff and going like, oh, I know what this needs, and it's sounding really good. It makes me want to finish it, or just kind of yeah, like I'm like, oh, I'm psyched, whatever. If Angela's gonna mix it, I'm psyched for that. Yeah, it's mostly just that's one of the few things I think it's mostly positive for me doing the recordings.
That's really sick, and no shame in shedding a tear. I mean, I'd be bawling like a baby.
Yeah, yeah, no, I mean, I'm like, I don't know if that's, that's punk. It's maybe like a soft punk kind of thing. I don't know, but yeah, just being honest, it was, like I said, it's weird, like I said, because it's not like I didn't write it, but yeah, like I said, I'm really proud of what we did. So,
Right on, dude. That's amazing. So you guys are from Springfield, Mass. How's the punk rock scene there? Do you guys have a favorite venue, favorite local band?
Um, yeah, the scene is it's good. I mean, it's we have a really tight-knit scene here. And so it's not like super huge. I mean, we're not in like a major city. We're 2 hours out of Boston or hour and a half. We do play in Worcester a decent amount, which is like the halfway point between here and Boston, kind of like mini Boston. And It's tough to say because our favorite venue was for a time. There was a place in Holyoke, Mass called Apeland, and it was run by a friend of ours. It was a DIY venue. It was just like in this like old mill building that, he rented a room in. It was their practice space, but it was a big enough room that you could fit like 60, 70 people in there. Well, crammed in, but it happened. And we played there probably still to this day, we played there more times than any other venue. Because there was a point where we were playing there like like twice a month. But unfortunately, somebody bought that building to redevelop it, gentrification and all. And so it is no more. The guy who was booking out of there, who rented that space, now books out at JJ's Tavern, which is where we did our record release. That's in Northampton, Mass, a little bit north of there. So that's a pretty cool spot. I'm a big fan of Hookie's the Nook in Westfield, which is right down the street from my house. Um, but yeah, I guess it's tough to put a finger on an exact favorite venue. There's a few that we play around here. And favorite local band, that's a tough one. Off the top of my head, I have to think about that for a minute because there's so many good ones. I don't know, Zach, why don't you answer the part about the favorite venue and I'll get back with my favorite local band.
yeah, it's a thing of you know, like I said, I mean, I've been in the band for a little bit now, but I mean, I think these guys have played like a lot more venues as Trash Mammals obviously than I have. I mean, I think I mean, yeah, the Nook's definitely cool. I mean, but I haven't played in that many places with Trash Mammals yet. I mean, I feel like I don't know, maybe it's breaking the rule of this question, but we did play in Vermont, and that was pretty cool, like in terms of like, I guess just like the response we get. There's a lot of like before I kind of came into Trash Mammals, I mean, I was playing in another band before, and I didn't really realize like that sort of, I guess, like the punk scene in this area is as big as it is, I guess. There's as many bands. So that was kind of like somewhat surprising to me. But yeah, like I said, I I would second the Nook. And in terms of bands that I could, I mean, um, let me think here. Yeah, it's there's definitely bands that I could think of that I've seen that are like that not with this band that I've seen locally that are um pretty good. Like, but I can't remember all of the band's names. Like, I mean, I know there's bands like sort of near Boston, like Hull, that I've seen, like Worm and Witch's Tears was really cool. Like, it's kind of escaping me now, bands that we've played with that I could think of off the top of my head that I was like, oh, really cool. But there's definitely a lot of sort of punk adjacent bands that are cool. Even in where Greg was mentioning, there's so many bands that played in that building with Ape Land that are still there. There's definitely a lot of really cool bands that are around here. Unfortunately, I can't rattle them off like that quick right
I
now.
I thought of two that stand out to me, and they're both not exactly from the same area, but they run in the same scene as we do. Because our scene is like we have our Western Mass bands that play together, and then there's New England as a whole. I mean, everything's 2 hours away here, so there's one band that's awesome. I think they're from like I don't know exactly what town they're from, but they're from somewhere a little closer to Boston. They're called Jobber. Those guys are
Yeah,
ridiculous.
second job or big time. Yeah.
Yep, and another band I like a lot. They're from Brattleboro, Vermont, which is just like it's like the first town in Vermont. They're called Slob Drop. They're just like a silly skate punk band. Like all their songs have like really silly, simple lyrics, like "My dad could kick your dad's ass," and like they just bring the party. I don't know. They're just so fun to watch, and they love what they do. So those are two that stand out. But honestly, like I could go on forever
I'll
listing.
mention really quick. I still have the sticker of this band we played with. I don't know if it's War Graves. They were good.
Oh,
We
those
played with
guys.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those guys are killer.
War Graves are cool.
I think they're from New Hampshire. Yeah.
Oh, are they? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but again,
They're
it's all 2 hours away.
yeah
So these
breaking some
bands,
rules, but they're good.
yeah, we play 2 hours away. They play 2 hours away.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's another sick band.
Yep.
That's awesome. So who would you say your biggest influences are?
I think it's the most obvious answer to this is probably Black Flag, which is mainly because we have played an entire set of Black Flag covers before. We did actually, I think that might have been the first show that Zach ever did with us, or
Yeah.
Lon ever did with us, I should say.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, that was sick because right when he joined the band, it was actually he was still in the process of learning some of our songs because we only had like five of our songs recorded on our first demo, so it was like kind of hard to learn some of the songs for him because it's like we'd run through it at practice, but he didn't really have anything to work with. So he knew those songs. And then it was like, well, you could learn the Black Flag songs. They're all out there. So we did all the songs we covered were off like either the first 4 years, Damaged, and then we did cover the song My War. I think that's the only thing we did past Damaged.
That song was really hard to learn,
It
and I
was.
think you said Chrissy recorded like I didn't really know that song before, and I just want to say if we ever get video of that, like I really that I'm proud that we did that song because that was a hard song to do, and it was hard for me to do as well. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
that was cool.
Yeah, that's probably the only one that I wouldn't be confident at our next practice we could just like bang out.
No, you
We'd
can't.
probably have to completely relearn that. But yeah, so we did Black Flag. I think like when I met Mark, it was because I was wearing a Descendant shirt and he was like, "Hey, let's talk about music." Like I think that was kind of like how we met. So Descendants are definitely a big influence. We've covered a decent amount of their songs, and Dead Kennedys, I'd say those are probably the
Yeah.
top three: Black Flag, Dead Kennedys, and Descendants. Some Bad Religion, some Minor Threat. That I would say those are our heaviest influences. Would you agree?
Yeah, it's kind of a thing. I think when people talk about influence, I mean, I think, again, because it's like the everything was kind of already formed when I came in. Obviously, we've been together for a while. Because like I feel like if I'm asked this question, the only thing I could really say is like things that like in terms of what I'm bringing to what was there, it's like stuff that I think would be relevant that I would think of even when we did the when we did a bunch of Black Flag stuff just for fun. It was, I mean, Keith Morris is like a huge influence for me. And I mean, I think in terms of what we're doing and what I would try to bring with it, yeah, definitely things like Dead Kennedys and for me, like the Buzzcocks, like stuff like that. Yeah.
Right on. So I got the $1 million question for you guys. If you could tour with one of them, who would it be?
Not Black Flag.
Um,
Honestly, my answer to that would be the Descendants because I feel like those guys would be wicked fun to hang out with. I feel like most of those bands would kind of be a bummer to hang out with. I mean, like Ian MacKaye would just lecture you all day. Black Flag is like not even really a band. It's just Greg Ginn and a bunch of like 16-year-olds. And sorry, I shouldn't be like downing bands that influenced us on here. But no, I feel like the Descendants, if I could take back that answer and pretend I didn't say that, the Descendants would be super fun to hang out with. Those guys just seem like a lot of fun, and they're great live. I've seen them a couple of times in the last couple of years.
I mean, I wouldn't, even though, I don't know, maybe, I don't know how people feel about um, the band that's called the Dead Kennedys now, but I mean, I love East Bay Ray, even as a guitar player, so I would be so psyched. But I mean, I don't know. I think it's, yeah, I guess I would probably just second the Descendants. I don't even know. I don't even know what Dead Kennedys sounds like now. And then the rebooted Black Flag, I don't know. I think it would be a hard pass, but
Your Descendants, I think, would be a lot of fun. That would be really sick, I think.
yeah.
Yeah, and they're really the only. Actually, Bad Religion is another influence of ours that is still touring with well, close to all of its original members. I think Descendants is other than Tony on bass, but Carl Alvarez has been their bassist for like 35 years. Descendants is pretty much the same guys that started the band. And Bad Religion, I know they have a different drummer, but it's mostly guys that have been in the band forever. Because all the other bands, I mean, Dead Kennedys, Jello won't come near them, and their drummer died. And Black Flag, like we said, is just one guy, and the rest of them. Flag would be sweet to tour with, and that's Keith Morris and Bill Stevenson on drums, and it's like as close to the original lineup of Black Flag as you can get. Those guys are sick, and I would love to tour with them.
Yeah.
Circle Jerks too, that would be cool too. Same Keith Morris, and they're still going around
Yeah,
doing
I'm
stuff.
I'm a huge mark for Keith Morris, so I think yeah, any of his bands I think would be okay with me. So
Cool. So now I'm going to ask you guys some non-music questions as a good way for me to get to know you as people. I did this with the other
mm,
bands. Are you ready to roll?
Yeah.
sure.
All right, first one, favorite book.
Oh boy, that's a tough question.
I mean, if you throw it out there right now, and I have to name one, I think I, if any of you guys ever heard of Our Band Could Be Your Life, was a really great book. Um,
Sweet. Yeah, I guess it's hard for me to say. I was a big fan. I've always liked Dennis Lehane is the author. A decent amount of his books got turned into movies. Mystic River being one that's probably the most famous. But I was a huge fan of the book Gone Baby Gone. Actually, did not care for the Ben Affleck movie that was made. Um,
Wait, oh, okay, never mind. I was thinking like Casey Affleck. Was that? Yeah,
Maybe it was
never
Casey
mind.
Affleck.
No, no.
Honestly,
What was that movie about? I think I'm confusing it with like a Casey Affleck movie or something.
it's about basically like a super trashy woman from Boston. Well, all of his books are about
Okay, yeah, no,
Boston.
I haven't seen
But
that.
yeah, there's like a super trashy woman from Boston whose like daughter goes missing, and they hire a private investigator
Wait
who's
a
like
second.
a
No, I think
husband
I
and
have
wife.
seen that one. I think that is
Yeah.
Casey Affleck. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, maybe it is Casey.
Wait, is maybe Ben's involved too? I have no idea.
I think he directed it. I don't know.
He
I
could have.
just I
I
watched it
honestly don't
after
know.
I watched it after reading the book and was like, this does not hold up to the book. The Mystic River movie actually is really good, as is the book, but I think I like the book Gone Baby Gone a little bit more. They did write a sequel to it too. I forget what that one was called. I don't think they made a movie of it
I
though.
like the movie, but it's just, I mean, having not read the book, that the ending seemed pretty stupid to me from what I remember. It was pretty cool until the end. So I don't know. I don't know if that's how the book was.
The book was way better. I mean, part of what I didn't like was just that they like messed up a bunch of the details, and that's one of those things. Maybe I would have liked it more if I hadn't read the book. I don't know. But
Yeah.
there's my answer to favorite book.
Blendings are the worst. What's your favorite food?
Hmm. Well, I would say probably it's either like steak or like burritos. I don't know. I guess I could just say steak burritos. Why don't I just say that?
I think generally, like growing up in Southern California, definitely, Mexican food and Indian food is pretty much, I don't know, anything like that that's just, super packed with calories and flavor and stuff. Yeah, that'll work for me. In terms of what's my favorite, I don't eat it as much anymore, but yeah.
Well, now I'm getting really hungry. I really appreciate
Yeah.
it. So, if you guys had $1 million and you could donate to any charity, which one?
Hmm. That is one I wasn't prepared to answer. Um, well, I'd have to do more research on charity than I've done right now because you got to make sure you're giving it to one that's actually doing something with the money. Um, I am passionate about animals, so probably I don't know if the ASPCA is actually good, but some version of that personally. Um, Getting dogs and cats into homes. I have a bunch of them behind that door that are cool. So,
I I would have to second Greg's answer in terms of more research needed. I haven't, yeah, I couldn't even think of being in a position that I'd have, not that, well, I mean, yeah, that I'd have that amount of money to then turn around and donate somewhere, but I definitely would want to look into it a little bit. I can't say that I would know offhand something that I would think would be, good and reputable and everything, to be honest.
Back right on. All right, last question. What are some places in Springfield that visitors should check out?
um, well, we've got, I would say like Worthington Street in Springfield is the best spot for like, it's hard to say nightlife because it's really not a nightlife city, but like if you were going to try to go out for a night, like that's the street you would go on. There's a lot of good restaurants. There's some good bars that stay open late. Theodore's Barbecue is a really good one. Big Mamu, Cajun food just reopened over there and it's really good. There's a couple hookah bars. So that's a cool street. Forest Park is a really nice like outdoor park. That's in Springfield. Um, there's a lot of cool outdoor stuff around here because like outside of downtown Springfield, it's not super urban. There's a lot of like the Berkshires area is not too far away. There's a lot of beautiful hikes out that way. Um, Trying to think what the Basketball Hall of Fame is right in Springfield. So if you're a basketball fan, that's there. And there is a small casino in downtown Springfield if you like to gamble. Um, yeah, I don't know. Anything to add, Lone?
No, there's definitely nothing. I'm a little bit of a shut-in, so I don't really get out and do all this stuff. I would second, yeah, if you like throwing down in the casino, yeah, we got one of those, and yeah, yeah, I'd be
Oh,
happy.
minor league hockey. We got the Thunderbirds AHL. That's always a good time, and because it's not NHL, it you can get in for pretty cheap, and the food and beer is not that expensive in there.
Sign me up for that.
Will do.
Sign
Yeah.
me up for cheap hockey, cheap beer, and cheap food.
Yep, we're getting there. Season starts in a month, so
That's awesome. So when I go up to Springfield to hang out with you guys and go to a show, you can take me to all those spots.
Of course, man.
Absolutely. Ribs
Say
on me
when.
at Theodore's.
Nice, dude.
Hell
Or actually,
yeah.
maybe at your house, dude. Yeah, that barbecue. What was it like a month? How long ago was that? My sense of
That
time
was
is
4th of
not
July,
good.
actually.
Yeah. Like
It's 2 months
the
ago.
barbecue that Greg did was freaking it's world class, man. It's maybe even better than this. Yeah, it was really good though.
Yeah, I do like smoking some barbecue. I have a smoker here, so
Ooh.
Yeah,
Now I'm
just say
getting
when, man.
really, really, really hungry. My stomach is growling now.
Yeah, man.
Well, I really appreciate you guys coming on, and the support means the world to me.
Thanks so much.
absolutely.
Likewise, dude. Thanks so
Yeah,
much.
thanks for having us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Dave.
Of course, anytime. So, for the people that are going to watch this interview later, where can they find your music at?
It's anywhere. We have it streaming through like everything. I mean, I use Spotify. You can find it on there. The album's called Banned from Bondi's Island, Trash Mammals. I think it's the only thing that comes up. And I just want to quickly figure out how to easily plug our Bandcamp because that's where you can buy stuff. We have t-shirts and vinyl records, and I actually don't know if we have. Oh wait, no, we have CDs for sale on This Is Just a Record label. If you give me 2 seconds, I can try to find the actual URLs for all this.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get
Probably
yeah, one sec.
probably should have been prepared with that. So it's Trash Mammals, the number one. So Trash Mammals one
Right, that's
at
important. And the record looks like this. Looks pretty cool. This is the vinyl that people can buy. Um, I think just on the Bandcamp, but
yeah,
it's pretty
Bandcamp.
sweet.
Bandcamp is the only place you can buy the vinyl, and we have t-shirts. The vinyl is $20. We have four colors: black, red, it's like a maroon color,
And the
green,
green, yeah.
and we also have like a light blue. And then you can get t-shirt bundles for $30, and then the t-shirts alone are probably $15 or something. So you can save a little bit of money to get both. And yeah, it's Trash Mammals, the number one dot bandcamp.com is where you can get that. And then I just want to find because we do have CDs. There's a small record label called This Is Just a Record Label, and they put out our CD and they're selling it through there. So this is just a record label, Trash Mammals.
Yeah, the music should be like pretty much on everything, every streaming service virtually. But the I think just remember the record is banned from Bonnie's Island because there's a lot of bands. I don't know how many of them are active that are called Trash Mammals, but yeah, if you search Trash Mammals banned from Bonnie's Island, it should pop up.
Yeah, there's only one other band from called Trash
I've
Mammals,
seen a
and
bunch, but I don't know if they're actually active and doing things. So
they're from Virginia. They're not on like Spotify and stuff, so I think we're the only thing that comes up on Spotify. But
yeah,
they have a Bandcamp. They don't sound anything like us. So if you just go into it being like, this band kind of sounds like the Dead Kennedys and Black
right,
Flag, and then you listen to one of theirs, you'll be like, oh, this is like acid rock.
right.
Um, so and then the CDs can be bought on. This is just a record label, all one word, dot bandcamp.com. And they do sell other band CDs too, which you should also buy, but you should be able to find it in their merch section.
So do what they say, go to the websites, buy a CD, buy a shirt, buy one of those sexy vinyl, and support local music. You guys are killing it. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Thanks, dude.
Of course. I hope you guys have a great night. We'll chat soon.
Thank
Likewise,
you. You
man.
too.
All right,
Our
thanks, dude.
peace.
All right.
Later.
See ya.